WA XL Cup Racing proudly presented by Retrovision, Voltec Mechanical, Racetech, Nexter, and Revolution Race Gear.
XL Cup Race 3, we'll just go through the grid in a couple of minutes. Here we go, the grid's up here. Carlos Ambrosio in position number 1, Zane Rhodes 2, Dean Hill 3, Lachlan Cove in position number 4, P5, William Panizza, Stephen McGregor out of 6, Noah Byrne out of 7, Jacob Fisher out of 8, Paul Cooper out of 9, Harrison Burns out of 10, we've got Adam Hasty out of 11, and John Schultz out of 12. Tristan Clamp out of 13, Charlotte Cove, the young lady, out of 14, Ashley Cove, her sister, out of 15, and Craig Ferreira out of 16, Paul Hewitt 17, Glenn Kaywood 18, Stuart McGregor 19, and Brad Ward P20. That'll be their list for the XL Cup, our last race, our second last race for the day, but certainly race 3 for the XL Cups. And it's great to have the camera on board with Harrison Burns, car number 333, as you see him come around the track, folks. If you were lucky enough to be watching the live stream, you'll see the onboard camera there with Burns, car number 333. But it's Carlos Ambrosio who's been pretty dominant today, along with Zane Rhodes and Dean Hill also, although Dean was a little bit disappointing with his qualifying effort a little bit earlier on today. I'll tell you what, one of the standouts, apart from those three who have been up the front, Lachlan Cove. How good is this young man? Superb driving. William Panizza also right up there. Stephen McGregor, you wouldn't expect anything more from Steve. Noah Byrne and Jacob Fisher, along with Paul Cooper and Harrison Burns back there also in car 333, carrying our camera. Awesome racing. Well, they grid up for the final race for the XL Cup Race 3. Carlos Ambrosio, he's on first place. Just shuffling ever so slightly forward is Zane Rhodes in second. Dean Hill had a big weekend over there in 3. And Lachlan Cove, who I reckon has set the world on fire, has certainly set the state on fire, in 4th position. As we go back a little bit further to Panizza and McGregor back there on the 3rd row. Well, we're just about ready. We're just about ready to get the green flag. The gentleman holds the green flag. Just about hold it up. Holds it up, gives it a good wave, as if he was swatting flies. And then we wait for the red light to come on. As soon as that extinguishes, we'll be off. Red light is on. Lights are out and away we go, as David Croft would say. And the first one out of the blocks, it is, Carlos Ambrosio. He is first there, and Hill will lead Dean Hill and Zane Rhodes into turn number 1. Oh, Rhodes held out a little bit wide. Unfortunately for Zane, may have to surrender that spot there to Dean Hill. Lachlan Cove slots into 4th spot beautifully with Panizza and McGregor back there in 5th and 6th respectively. But as they work their way up through turn 3, as we look at the on-board here with Harrison Burns, car 333, the full screen on board, got his work cut out here. He's right behind Paul Cooper there. I think it's car number 55 of Paul Cooper. Let's have a look. Will you dive down the inside? Probably not on lap number 1, but I tell you who has had a dive down the inside is Dean Hill. He wasn't mucking around. We're talking 6 turns into the race, and he's dived down the inside of Ambrosio. Has he got the straight line speed? He's had to take a narrower exit out of turn 6. Will affect his terminal speed, but I think he's got enough terminal speed and position on the road to get the job done. Zane Rhodes also rushes through with him, goes from 3rd to 2nd. Lovely driving, Zane. Got right on the back of Dean Hill and just sat there and would not let that go. Good driving, Zane Rhodes. He's up the inside of Carlos Ambrosio and will take 2nd position. Oh, a little bit of contact there with Dean Hill. I think that might have been Hill and Rhodes. A little bit of contact. Hill got the car sideways, but being a front-wheel drive, he simply stood on the accelerator and pull the car out in a straight line as they work up through turn 4. Close racing. Rhodes right behind Hill. Ambrosio keeping a watching brief, like that term, sitting back thinking if anything goes wrong, I'll just drive past yous and go on and take another victory if I can. Rhodes, he'll be thinking about diving under Hill when he gets the opportunity. Of course, this is, we've got another 6 minutes to go. This is a 12-minute race plus 1 lap. Hill, Rhodes in 2nd place. Ambrosio dropped off ever so slightly back in the third. Now, he's still in the slipstream. He's doing all right. Lachlan Cove, he's doing well in fourth place. Got plenty of pressure on him as Lachlan. Got Panizza behind him, Byrne, and of course Stephen McGregor's also in there. He's always good value. Here we go, up and across the start-finish line. Wow. Yeah, Dean Hill really blocking, driving up the inside, trying to keep Zane Rhodes at bay. Manages to do that. Zane will try the outside of turn one. You need to really nail this. Yeah, Dean Hill goes out wide in turn one. Really doesn't give Rhodes much room at all there. Really fighting for sheep stations, or at least lamb stations, or one of the two. But up the inside, Rhodes holds on to second spot. Well done. But yeah, Dean Hill in first position. He's going to be a tough man to get past. Ambrosio right on Rhodes, and Ambrosio will pull out and try the dive underneath Rhodes into turn number 6. And he will get it done. Brakes nice and tightly. He'll have a tight run out of there, so this will benefit Dean Hill. He'll take the big wide radius out of there and will have a nice bit of momentum on the straight as he heads up the hill from turn 6 into turn 7. Now down the hill, sees turn 7 in front of him, sees McCracken House beyond that, dives up the inside. Wow, really moves around under brakes, does Dean Hill, and it makes it extremely difficult for Ambrosio to try and work out which way to go. Do I go around the outside? Do I go the inside? All three of them are diving up the inside here. Zane Rhodes thinks he'll try the outside again. He's had a bit of success with that today. We have an incident between cars 53 and 73 at turn 1 noted. So 53 and 73. So that's an incident between Dean Hill and, of course, Zane Rhodes. Yeah, I noticed that at turn 1. There was a little bit of contact there. I really don't think there'll be much in it. I don't think there was a place made or lost. So anyway, we'll play on. I'm not the one to judge. Fastest lap is Carlos Ambrosio with a 1:12.6. And the second fastest be Dean Hill with a 1:12.9. So Carlos Ambrosio, the fastest out there at this stage. And he finds himself in second place right behind Dean Hill. As we see the cars negotiating turn 5, down to the bowl now, or the basin as we call it. These Hyundai Excels, just awesome racing. There is car number 333, as we see Harrison Burns in 9th position, right up the inside. He's right up the inside there, I think, of Clamp. I'm not quite sure. Is that... No, it is. It's actual Fisher. So he's up the inside of Fisher. So Harrison Burns up the inside of Fisher and will get the job done. Moves him up a couple of spots there. As we see coming across the start-finish line, uses plenty of the curb. There's Harrison Burns. In fact, they all do down the back of all the Hyundai races, pretty much using all the track contours that there are available, including track contours that are not actually available. So we have a bad sportsmanship flag for car number 1 and car number 12 for track limits. I can understand that. I think that's the track limits used at turn 7. Car number 1 and car number 12. So that's a warning. So that's a warning for Carlos Ambrosio, and another warning a little further down to Jacob Fisher. So they need to make sure they don't run out wide again. The worst thing that could happen is to get a 5-second penalty. And in this sort of racing, with the Hyundais being so closely fought out, that could drop you 10 grid positions easy. Cost you a big fistful of points coming out of the bowl into turn 6. Got to the races. This is car 55, Paul Cooper. He's racing Adam Hasty, and just in front of him, Jacob Fisher coming down the hill. Harrison Burns got a nice little stretch over a couple of metres, in actual fact, out of slipstream of car number 12 back there. Following him along, that is Jacob Fisher. But back to the front, Ambrosio up the front here with Zane Rhodes. And Dean Hill has been shuffled back to 3rd place. Wow, that's interesting. Zane Rhodes must have done a pretty darn good manoeuvring job there to get past Hill. Hill looks like he's got a little bit more speed up through, surprisingly, through the S's turn 3. Didn't quite get it done. Zane Rhodes holds on to position number 2 as they head up through turn 4 into turn 5. Ambrosio's got himself a nice little lead. 2 minutes to go, plus 1 lap here on the penultimate race of what has been an awesome weekend, round 3 of racing here for the WA Sporting Car Club here at CARCO Raceway. Here they come out of the basin one more time. Carlos Ambrosio, or Con's Corner as it is, up the hill. Zane Rhodes having a big ding-dong battle here with Dean Hill. Let's see, will Hill try a manoeuvre under brakes? No, he's not close enough to get it done. Ambrosio will come around the corner. 1 minute 30 to go, so I can see another 2 laps before we get that last lap board. I can see that's what's happening. So we've got 1 minute 20 to go, and lapping in 1 minute 11 will be Carlos Ambrosio. So they will have another couple of laps before the last lap board comes out. Looks like Zane Rhodes is starting to catch Ambrosio, and Dean Hill falling off the pace ever so slightly. Oh, look at the fastest lap. Carlos Ambrosio, he dropped into the 1 minute 11s. 1 minute 11.9, and so is Zane Rhodes. 1 minute 11.9 for both of them. And just around about 1/10 of a second off the pace off those two is Dean Hill. So both the boys up the front showing the longer legs. 1 minute 11 into lap time. So your fastest lap. Oh, we got a rotator down here at turn number 1. This is number 8 at turn number 1. Oh, that's close. Stuart McGregor, wow, on the pedal suspensions. Hyundai XL gets right in the way of the oncoming traffic. Oh, thank gosh. There was some good sightseeing around there. I'm not sure who that was, whether that was Adam Hasty or someone who just went around. But, whoa, Stuart McGregor turned the car around at turn 1, but he's back out and racing, and no big issue. As we see back down to turn 7, here come the leaders one more time across the stripe with our on-board camera here on board with Stuart McGregor. Goes very wide over the ripple strip, comes back over the thing, bang, bashes the Hyundai XL back over the ripple strips. Very late under brakes. Basically, there's been a contact here and almost another spinner. Is that Lachlan Cove? I'm not quite sure, actually. If that was Lachlan, it's had a bit of a spin there in turn 1. Not quite sure. I certainly hope it wasn't, but it's Harrison Burns has flown around. He's taken advantage of that somebody else's indiscretion, and he finds his way working up through turn 4, about to negotiate turn 5, and then plummet down the hill towards Con's Corner, turn 6. Coming out of turn 6, Con's Corner. Oh, with the last lap board just about to be displayed to Carlos Ambrosio. He's in front of Zane Rhodes. They come down the hill. Coming down the hill. And it is Ambrosio, Zane Rhodes right behind him. Looks like Dean Hill has just fallen off the pace ever so slightly. He has indeed. Oh, damn. Ambrosio across the line. Let's see. We've still got more laps to go, and it is Ambrosio in first place. Zane Rhodes second. Dean Hill, fallen off the pace a little bit. He's actually dropped off the pace by around about 1/10 of it. By a full second. He'd be disappointed with that, I guess. Tyres are probably running out, but the battle is all up the front here. Ambrosio and Zane Rhodes. Zane Rhodes is really catching Carlos. Really catching him hand over fist. Probably a little bit too far back for a dive under here, down into turn 6. He goes for it. Rhodes goes for it over Ambrosio and gets the job done. Oh, they'll now be side by side as they roar up the hill. Ambrosio had the wider line, kept the bigger radius going out wide, have a little bit more speed. But side by side, I think Rhodes has probably got the nose in front in towards turn 7. Has indeed. Zane Rhodes, the lead in front towards turn 7. He negotiates it, but goes very wide. Oh, has he given that up? We see the checkered flag. Who will it be? Ambrosio or Rhodes? It is Rhodes. Zane Rhodes takes the victory by a feather, if that. Incredible. So, we have that 5-second penalty, I believe, to Carlos Ambrosio. I just see that come up on the timing screen. Yes, a 5-second penalty to car number 1, who came second, Carlos Ambrosio. Oh, that'll drop him down to, possibly even 5th or 6th. So congratulations, Zane Rhodes, with the fastest lap with a 1:11.80. Congratulations, the young man, for Vulcan Panel and Paint over there in Canning Vale. The team will be really, really happy with that. Wow. Yes, wow, that is brilliant. Zane Rhodes, Mum Cassie be absolutely wrapped. The whole team there at Vulcan Panel and Paint. He takes the win. Carlos Ambrosio will come in second place. Whether that penalty is adjusted or not, I'm not sure. Dean Hill back there in third. Cove up in fourth. And Panizza back there in fifth.
WA XL Cup Racing proudly presented by Retrovision, Voltec Mechanical, Race Tech.